Side of the aisle, all about immigration. On the other side of the aisle, that's about to change. And Poppy, I don't want to equate this with the collapse of Lehman Brothers, but fresh in my mind is what took place in 2008. People forget that coming out of the conventions, John McCain and Barack Obama were deadlocked. And there was then a lack of confidence in McCain's capabilities soon after he said, quote, the fundamentals of the economy are strong. And all of a sudden, the economic issues took control of that campaign. It may happen here. We don't know really what to make of this yet, but it will certainly have political relevance.
Joanne, how much of this is psychology? The markets are driven by psychology. They're also a reflection of how corporations are doing. And we are seeing so many corporations across the board reporting quarter after quarter of record earnings. So why this?
That's right. So there's a lot of good economic indicators out there. There was good news out of Europe today, out of the Eurozone today. And yet we see, particularly in this last half hour, this panic. And what we are seeing and what we have to keep in mind is that the stock market is a reflection of psychology. It is more, at this point in particular, a reflection of psychology more so than a reflection of the fundamentals.
So for people at home?
For people at home, don't panic. Don't panic. I mean, we may go into a correction territory.
We are officially now into correction territory
in intraday. So, possibly we will go into correction territory at the close. Possibly. There are people who say that, we are about time. It's about time that we have a correction. Yeah. We've had a very sustained rally. But the time to, you want to make considered decisions. If you're an individual investor, you don't want to be jumping in there in day trading. You want to really make considered decisions about your own portfolio, whether you can want to hang on for a sustained period of time, whether you can, these are all decisions to be made calmly.
I think a really important thing to remember here, 50% of Americans have no exposure to the stock market. None. Not even through a 401k or an IRA. When you're looking at candidates, and you look at, okay, they have to address this now, they have to talk about this. How do they also talk to people about the impact of this, the ripple effect? If companies are nervous, they are not hiring as much, and this makes them nervous.
No doubt. And this volatility reminds me of Jack Bogle, the legendary founder of the Vanguard Group.
Yeah.
This is one of those moments where Bogle says you shouldn't have been opening your statements all along, and you shouldn't be dissuaded from something like this. To Joanne's point, this is to be expected in the market, maybe not to this extent, but you've got to be prepared to ride out both the good and the bad and not to make impulsive decisions as a result. I've got my 401k on the line with Jack, and so I take that to heart.
So for the candidates, though, I mean,
I think
if we
it's
hear
challenging.
from some tonight, tomorrow morning, how do they address this to the millions of Americans who have no exposure to this?
I think, a la what I described from 2008, the American people want to take a look now at the candidates and see who appears to understand the fundamentals, the basics of this. Because
Trump
quite frankly,
tonight.
Trump has a great opportunity tonight. Poppy, it'll be very interesting to see if in a stadium in Mobile, Alabama with 30,000 people, if he addresses this sort of thing. And if he does so with more than just a soundbite of, I know what to do about the economy.
Yeah, that's the question. Joanne, how does Donald Trump, for example, best address this tonight?
Well, Donald Trump, I'm sure, will go out there and say, as he did, I think, before the last crash, he said, I was in cash long before. Who knows what he actually was? God knows, right? But I assume he'll just go out and as Michael said, say, I'm a businessman and I understand the economy. And I do think, though, for any of the candidates, actually, anyone who can show that they have some grasp of the business world and of the economy, this will be a plus for them.
This is a moment for them. We've got more than Donald Trump. We've got Carly Fiorina, former CEO of Hewlett-Packard. You've got her also with a lot of business experience. Thank you very much, Joanne. Michael Smerconish. Michael's program, Smerconish, 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. You won't want to miss that. I'm Poppy Harlow in New York. Thank you for being with me as we watch the sell-off down 427 points, an ugly day on Wall Street. The closing bell just moments away. Where will it end? Stay with us.